They didn't post a single thing. No Instagram update. No story. No cryptic caption. And that silence is exactly why the story exploded. Picture this, a private airport terminal, far from commercial crowds. A sleek private jet waiting on the runway. A phone camera quietly recording. Zoom in. Two figures step down quickly, dressed low-key, hats pulled down, moving fast. But there's no mistaking them. Kylie Jenner. Timothée Chalamet. Together. Boarding a private jet. No announcement. No explanation. And in that moment, the internet lost its mind. Before we go any further, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Stories like this often hide the biggest clues in the smallest details, and you don't want to miss what comes next. According to multiple eyewitnesses at the airport, the jet was registered privately, with no commercial branding and no public flight log. This wasn't a business trip. This wasn't a brand appearance. And it definitely wasn't accidental. There was no large entourage, no glam squad, no visible security parade that usually follows Kylie Jenner everywhere she goes. That alone raised eyebrows. Kylie Jenner, billionaire beauty mogul and global pop culture icon, is known for managing her public image with extreme precision. Timothée Chalamet, one of Hollywood's most respected actors of his generation, is equally known for guarding his private life fiercely. When those two worlds collide inside a private jet, people know something real is happening behind the scenes. Witnesses describe the pair as calm but cautious. No dramatic gestures. No obvious affection for the cameras. Just subtle movements, quiet conversation, and a swift transition into a waiting vehicle. Classic behavior of celebrities who are trying not to be seen, yet somehow end up fueling even more speculation. Since rumors of Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet first surfaced, one question has followed them everywhere: how serious is this relationship really? Is it just a fleeting Hollywood romance? Or something deeper, something more intentional? This private jet moment changed the conversation. Almost instantly, fans and media outlets began speculating. Was this a secret vacation? A quiet escape from Hollywood pressure? Or a deliberate move to spend uninterrupted time together away from paparazzi and social media noise? What makes this situation even more interesting is the timing. Kylie has been deeply focused on her business empire and family life, while Timothee recently wrapped up major film promotions. At a time when most celebrity couples would capitalize on public appearances to control the narrative, these two chose to disappear instead. And that choice speaks volumes. Over the past few months, Kylie and Timothee have been seen together less publicly, but more frequently in private settings. Discreet dinners. Low-key outings. And now, a private jet. This doesn't look like a relationship fading away. It looks like one evolving into something more personal, more protected. Here's the part people often miss: when celebrities stop posting, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. Sometimes, it means everything is happening, just off camera. Sources close to the situation suggest Kylie has found comfort in Timothee's approach to privacy. No constant exposure. No relationship branding. No public performance. For someone who has lived under a microscope for most of her life, that kind of normalcy can be powerful. And for Timothee, it aligns perfectly with how he's always chosen to love, quietly, intentionally, and without explanation. That private jet quickly became a symbol. Not of luxury, because for Kylie Jenner, luxury is routine, but of choice. The choice to move together without announcing it. The choice to keep destination secret. The choice to make the relationship theirs, not the internet's. Of course, speculation followed immediately. International media began connecting dots, guessing possible destinations known as celebrity hideaways. Europe. The Caribbean. Remote coastal retreats. Some even suggested the flight was short, purely to avoid paparazzi tracking them on the ground. No confirmation ever came. No denial either. And that silence only made the story louder. The real climax of this story isn't where they went, it's what they refused to show. In an era where celebrity relationships are often built for public consumption, silence becomes the boldest statement of all. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet don't need to say we're serious. Their actions already do. When that jet lifted off the runway, it left behind more than tire marks. It left a question hanging in the air: is this the beginning of a new, more serious chapter for them? Or proof that the strongest relationships don't need an audience? One thing is certain. Every quiet move they make sends shockwaves through pop culture. And as long as they choose privacy over publicity, the world will keep watching and guessing. Now it's your turn. Do you think this was truly a secret vacation, or a smart way to escape the spotlight? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to follow for the latest celebrity news, deeper insights, and stories you won't hear anywhere else. The story doesn't end when the jet disappears into the sky. In many ways, that's where it actually begins. Because once Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet were spotted boarding that private jet, every past detail of their relationship was suddenly re-examined under a microscope. Old interviews resurfaced. Timeline clues were revisited. Even casual comments from months ago started to feel intentional in hindsight. Entertainment insiders began pointing out something subtle but important: Kylie's recent lifestyle shift. Fewer public party appearances. More time spent away from Los Angeles hotspots. A noticeably quieter digital presence. For someone whose life has long been documented in real time, that change didn't go unnoticed. And now, paired with this private jet sighting, it feels less like coincidence and more like a pattern. Timothée Chalamet's schedule tells a similar story. After years of relentless filming, press tours, red carpets, and award season scrutiny, he has reportedly been selective about his commitments. Close observers note that during breaks between projects, he has been increasingly absent from the public eye. No paparazzi strolls. No casual sightings. Just silence. And silence, in Hollywood, is rarely accidental. What's fascinating is how different this relationship feels compared to Kylie's past romances. There are no coordinated appearances. No viral couple photos engineered for headlines. No social media soft launches or anniversary posts. Instead, there are fragments. Fleeting moments. And now, a private jet that connects those fragments into something bigger. Sources familiar with celebrity travel habits emphasize that private jet usage often signals more than convenience. It's about control. Control over timing. Control over who sees you. Control over narrative. For a couple trying to exist outside the usual celebrity spectacle, this is the ultimate move. And then there's the question everyone keeps asking quietly: why now? Why take this risk at this moment, knowing how closely both of them are watched? The answer may lie in what they're not doing. They're not denying the relationship. They're not correcting rumors. They're not clarifying intentions. In media strategy, that's often a sign of confidence. When something is uncertain, celebrities rush to manage perception. When something feels solid, silence becomes an option. Fans quickly picked up on another intriguing detail. In recent months, Kylie has reportedly been leaning into a more private, grounded routine, prioritizing family time and personal balance. Timothee, known for his introspective nature, has long avoided the flashy side of fame. On paper, they shouldn't work. In reality, those differences may be exactly why they do. The private jet sighting also reignited discussions about exclusivity. Traveling together, especially in such a discreet manner, is not something casual couples typically do. It requires planning, trust, and a shared understanding of boundaries. This wasn't a spontaneous meetup. It was coordinated, deliberate, intentional. Midway through all the speculation, one thing becomes clear: the mystery itself is the message. By refusing to confirm details, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are allowing the public to focus on behavior instead of branding. And behavior, in this case, suggests a relationship that values presence over performance. Industry analysts have also noted how this low-profile approach benefits both of them. For Kylie, it marks a clear departure from reality TV-style exposure. For Timothee, it maintains his artistic credibility while still existing within pop culture's gravitational pull. Together, they form a rare hybrid, ultra-famous, yet selectively invisible. And then comes the payoff. Because while the world debates destinations, intentions, and future plans, one truth stands out: they chose each other's company over the spotlight. In an industry where attention is currency, walking away from it, even temporarily, is a powerful statement. No captions were written. No press releases were issued. No exclusive interviews followed. Just a jet, a moment, and a lot of unanswered questions. And perhaps that's the point. In a culture addicted to constant updates, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are redefining what a modern celebrity relationship can look like. Not loud. Not performative. But quiet, controlled, and deeply intentional. As more time passes without explanation, the story only grows stronger. Because silence invites curiosity. And curiosity fuels conversation. So whether this was a secret vacation, a strategic escape, or simply two people choosing privacy, one thing is undeniable: this relationship has entered a new phase. One where actions speak louder than posts, and absence speaks louder than confirmation. The jet may have landed somewhere far from public view, but the impact of that moment continues to ripple through pop culture. And now, the spotlight turns back to you. Do you believe this quiet move signals a long-term future for Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet? Or is this just a temporary pause from the noise? Share your thoughts, stay connected, and keep watching, because stories like this are rarely finished when the cameras stop rolling. But even after all the speculation, the unanswered questions, and the viral reactions, the story still hasn't reached its full weight. Because what happened after that jet sighting is just as telling as the moment itself. In the days following the report, paparazzi activity around both Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet noticeably slowed down. No follow-up photos. No arrival shots. No accidental leaks from luxury resorts or five-star hotels. In an era where even minor celebrities struggle to stay hidden, this level of invisibility felt intentional and impressive. Media analysts began to point out something unusual. Normally, a sighting like this would trigger a controlled response. A carefully timed public appearance. A casual dinner photo. Maybe even a subtle social media post to redirect the narrative. But that never came. Kylie stayed offline. Timothee stayed silent. And the lack of reaction only strengthened the idea that this was not a publicity move. Instead, the conversation shifted. Fans started asking not where they went, but why they chose to move this way. Why a private jet? Why now? Why the complete absence of confirmation or denial? Longtime observers of celebrity behavior noted that private travel often marks a turning point in relationships. It's not about romance, it's about logistics. Sharing private space, shared schedules, shared risk. For two people with global recognition, those choices are never casual. What makes this even more significant is the contrast with how celebrity couples typically operate today. Many relationships are announced before they're established, built through appearances and amplified by engagement metrics. This situation feels reversed. The actions came first. The narrative followed later. Insiders familiar with Hollywood dynamics suggest that this kind of low-visibility relationship often signals maturity. Not the excitement phase designed for public consumption, but a quieter stage focused on stability and trust. And that interpretation is gaining traction. Kylie Jenner has spent most of her adult life under constant public evaluation, her relationships dissected, her decisions analyzed in real time. Timothée Chalamet, meanwhile, has consistently avoided turning his personal life into a spectacle, even at the height of his fame. The fact that these two paths have converged in such a controlled, discreet manner feels deliberate. The private jet, in this context, becomes more than transportation. It becomes a boundary. A way of saying, this part of our lives is not up for discussion. And yet, the irony remains. The harder they try to protect their privacy, the louder the curiosity becomes. Online discussions began focusing on future implications. Will this level of secrecy continue? Will they eventually step into the public eye together on their own terms? Or will this relationship remain defined by moments that are only ever partially seen? What's clear is that neither Kylie nor Timothee appears interested in rushing that decision. There's also a cultural shift happening beneath the surface. Audiences are becoming more aware of how celebrity narratives are manufactured. When something feels unpolished, unannounced, and unsold, it reads as more authentic. This situation taps directly into that shift. The absence of spectacle feels refreshing and real. As time goes on, the jet sighting stands as a quiet milestone. Not because it was dramatic, but because it wasn't. No chaos. No confrontation. Just movement. And movement, in relationships, often says more than words. Still, the lack of closure keeps the story alive. Every new public appearance, separate or together, will now be measured against this moment. Every silence will be interpreted. Every absence will be questioned. That's the paradox of privacy at this level of fame. Choosing quiet doesn't end the conversation. It reshapes it. Whether this was a brief escape, a meaningful getaway, or simply a shared moment away from the noise, it has already done something powerful. It has reframed how people view their connection. Less as a rumor. More as a reality unfolding on its own timeline. And perhaps that's the most important takeaway. In a world that demands constant visibility, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are choosing discretion. In an industry built on access, they are choosing distance. And in doing so, they've created one of the most compelling celebrity stories, without saying a single word. As the dust settles and the speculation continues, one thing remains undeniable: this wasn't accidental. It wasn't random. And it wasn't insignificant. The jet may be out of sight, but the message is clear. Some stories don't need confirmation to feel real. And some relationships don't need an audience to matter. Now the question lingers, unanswered and unresolved. Is this the beginning of something long-term, carefully protected from the public eye? Or simply a chapter that will remain undefined by choice? Only time will tell. But until then, every quiet move will continue to speak louder than any headline ever could. And even as time passes, the silence surrounding this moment continues to grow heavier, more deliberate, and more revealing. Because when nothing leaks, when no insider suddenly confirms details, when no blurry beach photo appears days later, that absence becomes evidence in itself. Hollywood is not designed for secrecy. It thrives on access. On whispers. On controlled leaks. Yet this time, the usual machinery stalled. Several entertainment journalists quietly admitted that they expected follow-up confirmation within hours. It never came. Editors held stories, waiting for a second sighting, a hotel check-in, anything concrete. Nothing surfaced. That vacuum forced a different kind of coverage, analysis instead of exposure. And analysis led everyone back to the same conclusion: this was intentional. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet didn't just travel together. They executed a disappearance. That choice reframed the entire narrative of their relationship. No longer just a surprising pairing or a headline-grabbing rumor, it now looked like something being actively protected. Something insulated from the usual cycles of fame. Observers began to compare this to other high-profile couples who chose privacy over performance, and how those relationships often lasted longer, burned quieter, but deeper. The parallels were hard to ignore. There is also a psychological element at play. For someone like Kylie, whose life has been documented since her teens, privacy is not just a preference, it's a luxury. And for Timothee, whose appeal partly lies in his resistance to Hollywood excess, discretion aligns perfectly with his public philosophy. Together, they form a dynamic where silence is mutual, not imposed. The private jet moment also challenged assumptions about power and control. Kylie is one of the most influential women in modern pop culture. Timothee is one of the most respected actors of his generation. Neither needs the other for relevance. Neither benefits from forced visibility. That balance removes pressure. And relationships without pressure tend to move differently. Quietly. As days turned into weeks, the story refused to die, not because of new information, but because of what it represented. A break from the noise. A rejection of expectation. A reminder that not everything meaningful is meant to be shared. Fans who initially demanded answers slowly shifted tone. Curiosity replaced suspicion. Speculation softened into respect. There was a growing sense that whatever this is, it's being handled on purpose. And that's the real payoff of this story. Not a destination reveal. Not a confirmation statement. But a clear signal that Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are operating on their own terms. In an era where relationships are often announced before they're even stable, this one is unfolding in reverse, lived first, discussed later, if ever. That reversal alone makes it fascinating. The jet, the silence, the absence of spectacle, all of it points to a single truth. This isn't about hiding. It's about choosing what matters. And that choice continues to echo long after the runway lights faded from view. So as headlines shift and new celebrity stories fight for attention, this one lingers. Not because it's loud, but because it's unresolved. Because it resists conclusion. And because sometimes, the most powerful stories are the ones that don't explain themselves. Yet the longer this moment stays unexplained, the clearer its meaning becomes. Because in the modern celebrity ecosystem, mystery is not accidental, it's engineered. And this particular silence feels too clean, too controlled, to be anything but deliberate. There are no conflicting reports. No anonymous sources contradicting each other. No sudden narrative shifts. Just one confirmed sighting, followed by complete radio silence. That alone separates this story from ordinary celebrity gossip. Industry watchers have pointed out that when public figures truly want to stay hidden, it requires coordination at the highest level. Flight schedules adjusted. Staff confidentiality tightened. Locations chosen specifically for isolation. This is not improvisation. It's planning. And planning suggests intention. Which brings the focus back to the relationship itself. Up until now, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet have existed in the public imagination as an unexpected pairing. Different worlds. Different images. Different fan bases. But this moment reframes that perception. It suggests alignment. Shared values around privacy. Shared timing. Shared willingness to step away. That alignment is rare. What's also striking is what didn't happen afterward. No subtle signaling. No accidental outfit photos hinting at a destination. No coordinated return sightings designed to reset the narrative. They didn't feed the machine even a little. And that restraint is powerful. For Kylie, whose brand has long been intertwined with visibility, this represents a notable shift. For Timothée, It reinforces a long-standing pattern of choosing substance over spectacle. Together, it creates a relationship dynamic that doesn't rely on validation. And that may be why this story resonates so strongly. Audiences are increasingly fatigued by performative intimacy. They recognize when moments are staged, when narratives are sold. This situation feels different. It feels lived in, quiet, unfinished. The private jet becomes the only tangible proof, and paradoxically, that single image carries more weight than 1,000 curated posts ever could. As time continues, every future move will be interpreted through this lens. A separate red carpet appearance. A delayed public sighting. A continued absence. Each detail will either reinforce or complicate the story. But none will erase that initial impression. Because first impressions matter. And this one spoke in silence. The most compelling part is that no one is being invited in. There is no attempt to control how the story is perceived. No effort to shape public opinion. Just a boundary drawn and held. That's not common. And it's not accidental. So while the world waits for clarity, the lack of it becomes the narrative. The unanswered questions become the hook. And the quiet choice to step away becomes the loudest statement of all. This isn't a story about travel. It's a story about autonomy. About choosing presence over performance. About redefining what visibility means at the highest level of fame. And about two people deciding that some moments are worth keeping unspoken. The jet has long since landed. The runway is empty. But the echo of that decision remains. And until something changes, until words replace silence, this moment will stand as a marker. A turning point. Not because of where they went, but because of what they chose not to share. That's why the story continues. And that's why it still matters. And still, the quiet stretches on. What's remarkable is how this silence has begun to rewrite expectations, not just about this relationship, but about celebrity culture itself. In the absence of confirmation, the audience has been forced to slow down. To observe patterns instead of chasing headlines. To read intention through behavior rather than statements. That's rare. Usually, moments like this are quickly overtaken by new content cycles. Another celebrity sighting. Another scandal. Another announcement engineered to dominate attention. But this story refuses to be replaced. It lingers precisely because it withholds resolution. Insiders familiar with long-term celebrity relationships note that this phase, where visibility drops but coordination increases, is often the most telling. It's the point where a connection moves from excitement to structure. Where decisions are made quietly, away from commentary, away from noise. And that's what this feels like. Not secrecy driven by fear, but privacy chosen with confidence. The private jet sighting now reads less like a spontaneous escape and more like a checkpoint. A moment where two extremely visible people aligned their movements in a way that suggested trust. Trust not just in each other, but in the decision to let the world speculate without interference. That kind of restraint is difficult at their level of fame. For Kylie Jenner, whose public life has long been intertwined with narrative control, stepping back signals evolution. Not withdrawal, but recalibration. For Timothée Chalamet, whose career has been built on selectivity and intention, it reinforces a consistent personal philosophy. Together, those choices form a pattern that feels sustainable. As days passed, the lack of collateral evidence became impossible to ignore. No hotel leaks. No staff whispers. No background confirmations from industry contacts. In a business where information almost always finds a way out, this level of containment suggests a closed circle and mutual respect within it. And that's why speculation has shifted from curiosity to analysis. People are no longer asking, is this real? They're asking, how real is this becoming? Because casual relationships don't require this level of coordination. Fleeting connections don't inspire this kind of discipline. What we're seeing points towards something intentional, something being built quietly, away from timelines and expectations. There's also a generational shift reflected here. Younger audiences, especially, are responding differently. Instead of demanding access, many are expressing admiration for the restraint, for the refusal to perform intimacy, for choosing presence over proof. That reaction matters. It suggests that the power dynamic between celebrities and audiences is changing. That privacy, once seen as evasive, is now being interpreted as grounded, healthy, real. And in that context, the jet sighting becomes symbolic. Not a flex, not a tease, but a line drawn. A reminder that even the most followed individuals in the world are allowed moments that aren't optimized for engagement. Moments that don't resolve into content. Moments that simply exist. As long as Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet continue to move this way, quietly, deliberately, without explanation, the story will remain open-ended. And that openness is what keeps it compelling. There may come a day when they choose visibility, when they step into the public eye together and rewrite the narrative again. Or there may not. And either choice would be consistent with what we've already seen. Because the message has already been delivered. Not through words. Not through posts. But through absence. And until that changes, this moment will stand, not as gossip, but as a case study in control, intention, and modern celebrity intimacy. The jet is gone. The destination remains unknown. The silence holds. And in that silence, the story continues.